Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeremiah here. I want to talk about hitting your goals. If you have a big goal, the only way that you're going to hit it is by breaking it down to bite-sized chunks. So you may have this big thing that you want to do, and now everything that's happened with coronavirus and lockdown probably threw a wrench into the plans for those goals. So you have to also do this at the same time, okay? Break it down to bite-sized goals. Be willing to adjust your goals. Be willing to adjust the action steps. Be willing to change just a little bit, shift just a little bit, and innovate new ideas that are related to what that big goal is. But you may have to take a different path. Listen, when roadblocks come, we have to find ways around them. We can't let them stall us out. We can't let them halt us in one place. And so if you have a goal, break it down to what's the simplest thing that you can do today, this week. Break it down to that point. You might say, well, I don't know what that thing is. Great, that's awesome. Most people don't know what those things are. So how do you come up with those bite-sized things? I'm sure if you have a big goal, I want to make a certain amount of money, or I want to have a certain amount of followers on social media, I want to, do that. What's the first step? Start making content. Start writing some things down. In fact, if you have a goal, I want you to start writing down what that goal is and what things you need to start doing to reach that goal. What don't you know? What do you need to learn? Who do you need to talk to? Who do I need to ask questions from? What new information do I not know right now that I need to get? Break it down to that small, tiny level. Many times when I talk with people, they have these big goals. Well, I want to have this type of following on social media. I want to have this many customers. I'm doing XYZ, so XYZ is keeping me from doing this. Okay, cool, great. So what can you do? Write down and discover that. If you don't know what that is, I want you to take some time today. Here's a goal for you this week. I'm going to give you one. Find 15 minutes. That's it. Just you, a pen, a paper, and a notepad. This is your goal. This is your entire goal that I want you to try to find to do this week if you haven't done it before. 15 minutes with a notepad, a pen, and a paper. Write down what your goals are, and then start to write down just words. You don't need to, I'm not talking writing like sentences or dialogue or content. I'm talking just individual words, okay? Social media following, followers, pages set up, email. What are these little steps that we need to start to implement in our goal? Break it down. You don't need to write out the whole plan, but just put down keywords. Internet, marketing, okay, under marketing, social media, ads, copywriting, offers. And if you do this, this is your entire goal right here this week if you've never done this before. 15 minutes set aside with a notepad to write down keywords, elements of how do I need to reach my goal? What needs to change in my life? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to discover? What actions do I need to take? And then you're going to notice some patterns in that. You're not going to look for the patterns right away. You're not going to try to figure out how to execute on all those elements right away, by the way. You're not going to try to figure out how to get from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 in this process. We're going to cut out that step of trying to figure out what it is and just write down those elements on a piece of paper and then put it aside. Let it sit there for a day or two. And then think about what's the number one thing that you keep thinking about that you're like, okay, what do I need to figure out? And then do the same thing again. 15 minutes with a notepad. I promise you this, that if you do this for a week, you're going to have more clarity of what steps you need to take to reach your goals. Seriously, it's that simple. If you've never taken 15 minutes, or maybe you say, I don't have 15 minutes, get up 15 minutes earlier, Do it while you're doing lunch. Do it before you go to bed. Take time. Decide to not do something else for 15 minutes to do this. If you have a goal, I want you to set a goal for yourself to find just 15 minutes this week. 15 minutes to write down the bullet points, not all the details, the bullet points for the goal. Write it down, go over it, think about it. You don't need to come up with the solutions or the plan right now. This sounds so elementary, right? It sounds so rudimentary. It almost sounds too simple. And that's the key. To hit big goals, it's multiple tiny, simple steps compounded. Meaning, once you do this, we're going to look for patterns. Don't look for the patterns while you're doing this, because that's going to be the temptation. Day or two down the road, you're going to try to find patterns the next time you write things down and see what stands out to you. What are those patterns that are connected to your goal? And that's going to point to your next action steps. And now we're going to create a plan. Okay, how can I take 15 minutes a day to execute on this? After a week, what's 15 minutes times 7? That's 1 hour and 45 minutes a week that we found to set goals, to create a plan, to do something that we've never done before this week. And this is something that you can do in quarantine. This is something that you can do, and a skill set that you're going to develop by doing this that's going to impact every single other area of your life and business. Start doing this. Might sound silly, I know, but just try it and see what happens. This is the process that I use that breaks down every single piece of executable action step that I do. Everything that I've done for the last couple years has come from this process as the step number one. It's called the notebook. That's what I call it. It's just, I grab the notebook, and you know what I did before doing the notebook? I would type it out. I would pull up Evernote. I found that doing it in a notebook, I actually didn't like doing it on a notebook, so I started doing it on my whiteboard. And I just did a video the other day on, COVID-19 ad changes right there, talking about my course, Social Media Ads That Work, where I show you how to create ads that get results. And it actually uses this process. How do I create social media ads? Using this process. How do I create courses? Using this process. How do I create content? Using this process. How do I write emails? Using this process. All of that. That's how I come up with ideas. And right now, for us to get results in this season, we have to creatively think of new ideas that are different than what we did the last season. New ideas that are not the same old, same old. Do this process. Try it out. And watch what happens for you. Keep plugging into these videos that I'm doing every single day. I have a course that I just did in my Grow Your Life community called the Internet Cash Flow Formula, where I'm walking people through. We're on day number 17 or 18 right now, I think it is, where I'm walking people through step by step what it takes to get cash flow coming in right now in their business. It's for free. It's in my group, Grow Your Life. Look up hashtag Grow Your Life on Facebook. I talk about content, email marketing, funnels, communication, copywriting, advertising, what it takes to find your target customer and communicate to them what their goals are and help drive people to buy your products from you. That's what we talk about in there. It's totally free. Check it out. The link's going to be in this post after it's live. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in my bio. But how are you going to start? What's your step one? It's this. It's the notebook. That's it. The way that you accomplish a big goal is break it out down into tiny little elements. Write those things down. You don't need to have the whole plan figured out. You don't need to have every step figured out. You don't need to identify all the patterns right away. You just need to start with this one simple thing. And I promise you, everything else is going to open up for you. So try it this week. We'll talk soon. Grow your life, everybody.